Hello everyone, my name is عصام الوقيت. I'm the Director of National Information Center and I have the privilege today to give you a presentation titled A Glimpse into Digital Saudi. In this presentation, I'll give you an idea how digital transformation is changing the shape on the way that Saudi Arabia works, both in the government and the private sector. So without further ado, let's start the presentation. In this presentation, I'll take you into a little journey or a glimpse into digital Saudi and how digital transformation has helped Saudi be more productive and be more efficient during this pandemic. Of course, we cannot just talk about digital transformation before addressing the current coronavirus situation, the COVID-19, and I wanted to focus on how it affected technology in both in a bad way and in a sense a positive way, or the silver lining of the situation. So let's start with the bad. Of course, with the coronavirus you have those issues of self-isolation, of people stopping going physically to work, of quarantine, of curfews, and so on. This has affected business in so many ways. One of the ways that has happened, or that one of the causes of that, is the supply chain disruption. So we've seen a lot of factories close down, a lot of factories in some countries that has been severely affected by the coronavirus, like China and so on, and those factories produce a lot of parts that are essential for many of the technology products. So this is one thing. The other thing is the store closure. So even the consumers, they cannot go to the stores because in most of the countries they're closed, so that affected the sales of the technology products. Also with the conference cancellations, so we've seen a lot of big flagship conferences that get canceled, like the Mobile World Congress or the Gartner Symposium and so on. All these conferences has been canceled, and you know, these conferences are very important, whether for product announcements or for the exchange of information at the conferences in different areas. And the last part is the internet traffic surge. With people staying at home, you know, having a lot of time, they turn down to the internet and they consume the internet bandwidth. We've seen a lot of surge in YouTube, on Netflix, on a lot of e-services. Some countries, they have witnessed an increase in double digits. For example, in the UK, I believe that the percentage goes up to 30% increase. Of course, with that, you know, you get some degradation in the services provided. The good part is digital transformation. Of course, you know, when you have most of the physical world shut down, you turn to the digital part. So digital transformation is an important topic. It's been an important topic for so many years. However, it's at these times when you get to test whether you've done a good job or a bad job. And I turn down to this in a sense, it's a funny picture. Who led the digital transformation of your company? And usually it's a CEO or CTO, and then you have COVID-19. If you did not do your homework in digital transformation, this time you would see the results of that. So this is the introduction about the coronavirus. I want to take you right now into the digital Saudi, and I believe that, you know, we've done an amazing job in digital transformation, and I'm going to take you into different parts of the digital Saudi. So we have digital nation, we have the digital society, and we have the digital economy. So now we start with the presentation about digital transformation. I just want to highlight some of the major achievements, and this is some of so many. And I want to give thanks to the National Digital Transformation Unit, because most of the stuff you see here are part of their annual report. They provide, or they produce the digital transformation report in Saudi Arabia, and this is the some of the figures and numbers from the last report. Some of the achievements: for example, we have an app called Maw'id for digital health. In 3 minutes, you can book an appointment with the hospital near you. We have Abshir, which is a flagship that I'm proud to present from National Information Center, NIC. You can almost finalize any service within 3 minutes. And I'll take you into more details into Absher in a little bit. We have the Ministry of Justice. They have a lot of e-services. They have their portal Nages. In 5 minutes, for example, you can get a power of attorney, or in 1 hour, you could do a property ownership transfer. We have Masar, which is for human resources. In 48 hours, you can finalize the end of service process within the government. And we have Fasih, which is a portal for customs. And right now, they do have a rule that any shipment has to be cleared within 24 hours. And they're doing some efforts to minimize that to 2 hours only. And all these efforts and those achievements has reflected into international indices. I'll just pick some of those examples. Saudi Arabia, in the last report for the World Bank, by the World Bank, it was ranked #1 in the world by the most improved. We have jumped so many positions that the whole world witnessed the changes that happened in digital transformation in Saudi Arabia. In the WEF, the World Economic Forum, for digital businesses, we are ranked #11 with adaptive legislations. Of course, you cannot have this digital transformation without having the supportive legislative part. And Saudi Arabia had been doing a lot of efforts in that field. And in the WEF also, we're ranked 36 in the competitiveness. And also in the IMD ranking in digital competitiveness, we are ranked 39 in the world. We jumped 3 positions since last ranking. And in the WEF also, we are ranked 13th into digital capabilities. Also, some local measures, for example, in digital maturity for e-services, the digital maturity level is 81%, which has been improving over the past years. In 5G worldwide, we have the 3rd largest deployment in 5G. Internet speed worldwide, we used to be 110. Now, in less than 3 years, we are ranked 13th, and I believe that this position even better right now. I believe that this presentation is a little bit outdated. I believe that right now we're 11th or 10th worldwide. In the spectrum allocated for wireless broadband, we have allocated a huge bandwidth for that, a huge spectrum for that. Worldwide, we are #2 in the spectrum allocated for wireless broadband. Let's talk about digital nation. Let's talk about Absher. If you're not a native Arabic speaker, Absher is a word that means consider it done. If you tell me something and I tell you Absher, basically I'm telling you consider it done. And this is exactly what this portal is doing. We're telling the citizens digitally, consider it done. Absher was not done overnight. It's a journey that has started a little bit before 2010. It started with a portal that offered few services, and it has grown over the years until it matured and it has most of the services in 2012. We keep adding more and more services. Now, it used to have only a few services from one sector of the Ministry of Interior. Now it has almost more than 150 services for the citizens, and the channels to obtain those services are the website, a mobile app, even kiosks. And then we expanded Absher, so now we have Absher for individuals, you have Absher for businesses, and now we have also Absher for government. So we've seen this product and this beautiful digital transformation product blossom over the years, and we have a lot of good stories to tell about that. This is some statistics about Absher. We have more than 15 million registered users. The visits exceeds 22 billion visits. The satisfaction rate is 4.7 out of 5. We have a lot of transactions, there's a good, customer service provided on social media and over the customer support line and so on. Along with Absher, we have our digital identity, and this is a very important part for digital transformation. You cannot lead a successful digital transformation in any country without having a strong digital identity. And by digital identity, it has to go through digital identity for individuals and for businesses, and you can take it even more for Internet of Things applications. However, for individuals, we have a service, what IAM. So this web service basically is available for any government entity to utilize it through their portals in such a way that you could identify the identity of the individual through this service. This has helped a lot of government entities to provide their e-services in a way that is seamless and easier for the user, in such a way that when you're traveling in the physical world and you have your identity, your ID card, in the digital world you have your IAM or your digital identity. In Saudi Arabia, more than 100 government entities are connected. We observed so far more than 44 million transactions just in 2019 alone. For businesses also, we have the equivalent digital identity. We call it 700 number. So you can give entities an ID that they utilize to use their services, whether for their employees and so on. For digital transformation, and this is so fitting in coronavirus, one of the products that we are proud of in NIC is Buruq platforms. Buruq or Lightnings is our newest and the fastest growing product in NIC. So it is a secure video conferencing platform. We have deployed it just a bit over 5 months ago, and it has a limited resource. And with the coronavirus situation, we have witnessed an increased demand to provide secure video conferencing solution. So we have expanded it. We are so proud to host the extraordinary G20 summit using Buruq platforms. We have almost 37 world leaders and international organizations heads in that meeting, in the G20 meeting. We have also done it for the Shura Council, which is the Saudi Parliament. We have held many meetings for the Shura Council, more than 150 people at the same time, all done virtually. And also we provided it for the OPIC and many of other G20 meetings for the finance ministers and other ministers as well. Moving on to another example for the digital nation, the Ministry of Justice has been doing an amazing job. They have came up with the concept with paperless courts. Everything in the courts is done digitally, so you don't do anything on paper. All the courts are held and recorded digitally. They have the Najis platform, which provides more than 112 e-services. They receive a lot of visits daily or transactions daily, more than 47,000 transactions daily. And they have a lot of services. One of them is, for example, the power of attorney, such a complex process, and it takes only 5 minutes to do it digitally. And to support that and to support the decision making, they have produced the Judiciary Operations Center, JOC, and this monitors all the courts and all the operations of the Ministry of Justice in the whole country. They can witness, for example, how long does this operation takes, how many transactions in different cities, and so on. This dashboard provides them with so many ideas, and so many information. The Judiciary Operations Center provides the decision makers with so many statistics that helps them to make the decisions in such an effective and based on evidence from the JOC. Another platform that we're so proud of is I'timat. This is a government procurement portal. All the procurement processes by all the government entities are done through this portal, and they are monitored centrally, so you can have all the statistics you want to support your decision. Before having that portal, every government entity used to do it in a paper base. They had separate systems, they were disconnected. There was no way to link the government entities' procurement procedures to the Ministry of Finance. Now you have this unified portal. You have more than 200,000 tendered contracts in 2019 alone through that portal. You have more than 82,000 registered users for different, whether government or private sector. More than 50,000 contracts has been uploaded to the system, and the payments also are done through this portal. 900 billion riyals has been paid through that portal in 2019 alone. In NIC and under SDAIA, the Saudi Data and AI Authority, we're so proud to have the G Cloud, where we have so far more than 80 data centers combined into the G Cloud. We also have Istishraf, which is an AI platform that utilizes the data inside the data bank, which we have more than 80 data sets so far, and we're improving on weekly basis. Istishraf takes this data from the data bank and it applies AI algorithms to provide scenarios for the decision makers, so that when you make a decision, that decision is based on hard evidence. Of course, all these digital transformation, all these products cannot work and will not be utilized by citizens without having a proper, solid infrastructure. The Ministry of Communications and IT has supported those efforts, and now we have more than 3 million homes connected with fiber optics. Moving on to other sectors. So in municipal services, we have Baladi platforms. We have more than 600,000 users, and more than almost 3 million transactions has been processed in 2019, and almost 600,000 licenses has been issued through the Baladi platform. Moving on to digital society. So we have talked about the government part. Let's see how digital transformation affected the society. Furijet also is a service offered through Abshir platform. So Furijet is a service that enables citizens to help other citizens who has been jailed for default payments. Through that service alone, 75 million riyals has been paid, and more than 1,000 people has been freed from jail and went back to their families. A lot of heartwarming stories I could tell you as a result from that service alone. Also, just to show the important part of helping the society, the Ministry of Justice provide their services at home. So if you're an old person or you're a disabled person, or for some reason a person you cannot leave your home and you want to obtain the services and you require someone to attend and verify your identity, they have employees that could come to your home and you can provide any service. You can transfer the ownership of property, you can give power of attorney and so on through that platform and through someone coming to your home. Telehealth, which is an important subject, especially these days. Ministry of Health have two important services. You have Maw'id, which is basically a service, a unified centralized service to enable people to book an appointment centrally and in the easiest way. So for that platform alone, you have almost 10 million registered users, and in 2019, more than 36 million appointments has been booked through that platform or through that app. Also, you have Saha, which is a telehealth app. Basically, instead of you going to the hospital or going to the clinic, you could use this app where you can ask questions, you could chat with the practitioner, and then they will be able to help you and tell you if you need to come to the hospital or not. Even you can do a phone, not a phone, like a call with the practitioner, and they can help you out, ask you a question and give you answers and so on. They can tell you whether they can help you on the phone or through the app, of course, or they will ask you to come to the hospital. In this way, you saved a lot of time of people going to the hospitals without actually needing to, and you increase the convenience for people. And at these times, these platforms are very effective. In digital society, it's very important to have the digital skills. You cannot lead a digital transformation without having some of the dependencies. Part of those are the digital skills, Of course, this is a very wide spectrum, education plays a part and so on. So Saudi Arabia has been doing a lot of effort to increase the digital capabilities and the digital skills in so many spectrums from the population of Saudi Arabia, starting from kids all the way to college students. And this kind of digital skills building is divided. So you have some hackathons, for example, the robotics Olympics and so on. This is targeted for a certain age area. And then you have specialized programs and specialized postgrad programs for specific majors like information security or AI. In 2019, more than 2.2 million youth has been trained in digital skills. Moving on to digital economy, some say that digital transformation and digital economy are two sides of the same coin. In other words, whatever money you spend in digital transformation, you're going to gain that money through digital, an increase in digital economy. Part of the digital economy is opening up tourism in Saudi Arabia. Of course, this is something that digital transformation played a huge role in. We have the e-visa, so you could obtain your visa if you are from one of the countries that are allowed to come to Saudi Arabia in 5 minutes. So in this effort, we have more than 3 government entities connected through a platform, and we have issued in 2019, in a few months, more than 250,000 visas alone. Another important aspect of digital economy is cashless society. It's a goal for almost every nation to move towards cashless society. Of course, with cash, there is a hidden cost. You need to maintain ATMs, you need to provide security, you have the cost for renting the banks and so on. So it is a goal to enable or to move towards cashless society. In Saudi Arabia, we have done a lot of efforts. SAMA, the Saudi Arabian Monetary Agency, has led this effort to move towards cashless society. We have enabled a lot of companies into fintech. So SAMA has opened this sandbox, the regulatory sandbox. More than 20 companies applied to be in that sandbox. Some big companies like STC Pay, Halala, Bayan Bay, and so on. And so 4 of them has graduated. So now they are full-fledged products, and they're providing the services to consumers. And more are coming into the fintech operation. You have the crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, and so on. All these efforts, will help improve digital transformation and will help move towards the cashless society, and will help improve the digital economy as well, and support other parts of the digital transformation like the e-commerce and so on. Another part of the digital economy is the logistics part. Of course, you cannot have a successful and sustain a successful e-commerce operation in any country without having a strong logistics platform. We have in the customs, where they have FASH platform. As I told you before, they reduced the number of documents required from 14 documents to 2, and even those 2 documents are submitted digitally through FASH platform. This resulted into reducing the time it takes to get the clearance from a couple of weeks in some cases to 24 hours. And even with that, the customs authority is trying to reduce the time to be less than 2 hours. So we have covered digital transformation from different aspects, from digital nation, digital society, digital economy. Of course, if I wanted to talk about the full spectrum of digital transformation in Saudi Arabia, it would have taken me more than the 20 minutes that I've been talking to you guys. However, as I said, the title of this presentation is a glimpse into digital Saudi. So this is just a glimpse. I recommend that you go to the NDU website, download the full report of digital transformation in Saudi Arabia. And of course, I hope that these numbers next year will be much more better, and I'm sure that even with this pandemic, with the coronavirus, people are paying more attention to digital transformation. I expect maybe in a year from now we'll see a lot of services, we'll see a lot of concepts that were some fancy concepts that we did not apply in real life before will see them as, you know, a business as usual kind of things. Work from home, we'll see a lot of a lot of government entities, a lot of private sector companies applying and adapting these concepts even after the pandemic, because they have got to try this into the COVID-19 era, and they witnessed the benefits of those. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that, you know, I was able to provide you that glimpse into digital Saudi Arabia, and I appreciate you attending this virtual lecture. Thank you very much.